it was going to switch around everything on me again. Once again. Alrighty, everybody. Hi, I am Mary from Mary's Heirloom Seeds, and welcome to my weekly live chat. Please hit the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Now, have I got some amazing information to share with you today? I hope you can see me. Hey, Arlene, you joined me early. I appreciate it. So here's the thing. I have been going live on YouTube on Thursdays at 5 o'clock for a while now. Hey, Joe, thanks for joining me. I recently added going live on Facebook on Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Hey, Caitlin, thanks for joining me. And for those of you that are regulars, welcome. And for those of you that are brand new to my channel, welcome back. Welcome. Esther's daughter, thanks for joining me. So every week I've got new followers, new subscribers, and new people that join me. So I always want to say welcome, but also for those of you that haven't watched the videos, in the description section of this video are links to everything I'm going to talk about today. So today's topic is peppers, sweet and spicy, which could actually describe me today. And then also my comprehensive planting guide, a couple of videos about getting started in your garden, and in case we have a little dust up with our cats, I'm not even afraid to share it. I got a squirt bottle here on my desk today because speaking of sweet and spicy, our orange cats have been sweet and spicy lately. So anyway, I'm hoping that everybody just gets along. Okay, let's talk about all things peppers. Maybe not all things peppers, but a lot of information about peppers tonight. So the Scoville heat unit is what measures heat in peppers. It is the pungency of a chili pepper. Jenny says, hello from Chile, Florida. Listen, I'm inside right now. I looked at last year's videos and I was outside and I was like, oh yeah, it's February, it's nice, it's warm. It is currently 33 degrees outside, and I woke up and it was 7 degrees this morning. So I am inside. I am staying warm and bundled up, and I am not going live outside right now. Hey, Christian, you're early. It's too cool for the segment. Needs to be a PBS show. Freezing here in Texas. Hi. Hey, Krista, thanks for joining us. Yeah, it's chilly here, and for those of you in Florida, I had somebody call me this week. It was a cute conversation, but he didn't really know much about me, and he said, well, what sets you apart from other companies, or why should I shop with you because I'm in Florida? And I gave him all this information, which, I mean, I have a little bit of knowledge about growing in South Florida and Florida in general, because I lived there for 8 years and we grew there. So it was just kind of cute. And he finally said, well, kind of cut into the chase, and he goes, well, what sets your seeds apart from other companies? Like, why should I buy from you? And I was like, well, I can tell you that I'm the best seed company in the US, but that doesn't really count. Check out the reviews on my website. There's a ton of reviews on my website. If you haven't checked out the reviews, and if you bought awesome seeds from us and you've had awesome success, post your reviews. There's over 900 5-star reviews at Mary's Heirloom Seeds about some of the varieties I'm going to talk about today. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video. Some of my customers have said, I can't handle anything more than a jalapeno. And so I've got some sweet peppers to share with you. And some of my customers have said, I want the hottest pepper you have, and that I have for you as well. Jennifer B says, it's unusually warm here in Pasadena, California. Would like some cooler weather. Yeah, I was just in Southern California about 2.5 weeks ago, and it was pretty warm. I was in t-shirts most of the time that I was there, so it's definitely warm. So let me share with you a little bit about Scoville. Krista says, love the flavor, can't take the heat. I'm going to share with you some flavorful sweet and flavorful spicy, and some of my favorites as well. So Scoville heat units are measured using sugar and water. The original creator, hey, Gardener, thanks for joining us. We have scorpion peppers, and I'll share with you in just a second. The scale of Scovilles is named for Wilbur Scoville. He created the Scoville heat unit in 1912. So when you see SHU, that stands for Scoville heat unit. It is just literally how hot a pepper is. But the way that he designed this unit was by using sugar and water. And it was how much sugar and water that was needed to dilute that pepper, that capsicum, in order to have it not burn anymore. Hey, David at Patriot Rabbitry, thanks for joining me. So you'll see on my website and different peppers that are hot or spicy or even mild, you'll see SHU, and that is Scoville heat units, and that's how hot a pepper is. We have anything from what? We have anything from 5,000 Scoville heat units. Actually, we have everything from 100 to 1.2 million Scoville heat units, which is kind of exciting. And 1.2 million would be the Trinidad scorpion pepper if you haven't already checked that out. I got Jojo joining me over here. I got Pepper over there. I got Max over here. I got cats everywhere except for next to me. So you just have to deal with me tonight. Last night, if you joined me, we had cats everywhere. All right, so I have it written down even from the top to the low. 1.2 to 1.5 is going to be the Trinidad scorpion pepper. We carry that at Mary's Heirloom Seeds. It's also the Scoville heat units of pepper spray. So if you wanted to make your own pepper spray, the Trinidad scorpion pepper is a great option for you if that's what you're looking for. Then you scroll it down a little bit and you've got the ghost pepper. And the ghost pepper is anywhere from 800,000 Scoville heat units to 1.4 million. And Inga asked me recently, what makes it so different? What makes it that big of a range? And similar to humans, sometimes when you're under stress, you become a little more spicy. And that is literally what happens to peppers. So if you have too much water, if you have too much nutrients, you might be diluting your heat of your pepper. If you give a little bit of stress, so take away some of the water, don't overwater. It is in full sun, less heat, less nutrients. Sometimes it can get a little spicier. So just a little tip for you. If you're looking for something a little spicier, you can actually take the same pepper and give it different growing conditions to make it produce a warmer or spicier pepper. Then you have the habanero, you have the Scotch bonnet, the bird's eye, the mushroom peppers. Those are anywhere from 100,000 to 300,000 Scoville heat units. So before I talk about specifics, I wanted to share with you the Scoville heat units just as a general idea of how these peppers are classified. If you haven't already, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share the video, do all the things, tag your friends, all that good stuff. Then you have anywhere from 5,000 to 1,500, which is your like jalapeno and your serrano peppers. You've got 0 to 100, which is going to be your bell peppers. Those are no registration on the Scoville heat units at all. So these are the ones, if you're looking for really mild, if you're like, I can't even handle a jalapeno, Mary, like I can't do hot peppers, then you're going to want to look for the ancho poblano and Anaheim pepper. Those are super mellow. Those are more about the 1,000 to 1,500 range on the Scoville heat units, which a jalapeno is anywhere from like 8,000 kind of. So if you're looking for something more mild, go for the ancho poblano or the Anaheim. Those are good ones for you. So today I have a bunch of peppers to share with you, and I'm going to give you a basic rundown of them. The full description is available at marysheirloomseeds.com, and I do want to share this with you. Peppers need warm soil. They need warm conditions to germinate. And I had one customer reach out to me who was not the nicest customer I've ever dealt with, but she didn't quite understand that soil needed to be warm, even though I was trying to share warm soil. Literally, your soil for peppers needs to be like 75 to 80 degrees. If you're using a heat mat in a cold area, it's not enough because most heat mats only get you about 7 to 10 degrees above the ambient temperature. So it is 30 degrees outside. My garage is probably about 50 degrees. If I was growing pepper seeds in my garden right now, or in my garage right now, I would have to add way more heat than just a heat mat because, again, unless you have a soil meter that tells you what your temperature of your soil is, or you have a heat mat that gives you a specific temperature, most heat mats are only going to give you 7 to 10 degrees above ambient temperature. So 50 degrees in my garden, in my garage right now, would only be about 60 degrees. So they need 75 to 80 degrees of soil temperature to germinate. So I want to throw that out there for you. For any of you that might be struggling with growing, hey, K&A Vending, thanks for joining us. So for those of you that might be struggling with germination of peppers, that could be the easiest issue that you're facing, is that your soil just isn't warm enough. So I wanted to throw that out there at you. The first batch I'm going to share with you is going to be from my sweet pepper. Thanks, Esther's Daughter's Garden. I appreciate it. From my sweet pepper seed box. The sweet pepper seed box is in my starter kits list, and it's a couple of sweet peppers, and then it includes 2 trays, I think, and a box to ship it in so that it gets to you without getting mushed. It's got trays, it's got coconut coir pellets, and it's got seeds. So this is just a really simple starter box. You have Melrose sweet pepper, an amazing variety. You have Jimmy Nardello sweet pepper, again, another amazing variety. So for those of you that are looking for sweet peppers that are not hot, that are easier to grow, this is the one for you. Red cherry sweet pepper. We actually carry a red cherry hot pepper. Don't confuse the two. If you buy both of them, don't confuse the two. Now, I went to Costco about 2 years ago, and I bought a jar of stuffed red peppers. It was like a cream cheese and herb stuffed peppers and oil. It was the most decadent thing I've eaten in a very long time. And I don't eat normally stuff like that. But I thought, well, it'd be fun to add a little extra to it. Hey, Inga, thanks for joining me. And so I tried it and I was like, this is delicious. So I'm going to try it this year and make my own. The red cherry sweet pepper is perfect for this. If you like stuffed peppers that are literally bite-sized, this one is amazing. You put some like cream cheese and herbs and you stuff it with the inside the red cherry sweet pepper, amazing. Krista says, grew up on Melrose, great if you let them get red and dry. They are fantastic for drying, absolutely. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. Next on the list, this is all in my sweet pepper seed starter box. Fushimi sweet pepper. This one is originally from, I think, Japan, but grown in the US. It is another very delicious sweet pepper, really easy to grow. And then also purple beauty bell pepper. So if you don't know, we carry bell peppers of all different colors, shapes, and sizes. Now, we have miniature bell peppers and we have full-size bell peppers. So if you're looking for miniature, we have mini bell peppers in a mix, which is good. It's got the chocolate, the red, and the yellow. Or you can purchase those 3 separately. Again, we carry the mini baby bell peppers in 3 different colors and a mix. So that's 4 different options for you to decide what you might like. If you like a full-size bell pepper, we carry those in a green, a red, a yellow, a purple, and a chocolate. So 5 different options for you to purchase for a full-size bell pepper. And those aren't on the sweet or the heat. It's just right in the middle. It's a good tasting pepper that's not necessarily hot or sweet. It's just delicious. Alrighty. So I already started talking about the Trinidad scorpion pepper a little bit. I got my coffee and my water today. Last spring was the first year I was able to grow peppers the size of my hand. Don't know how I did that. Well, congratulations. Peppers are not easy to grow. But that's also why tonight's topic is all about peppers. Now, about 2 weeks ago, I went live and I shared with you about tips for growing. I don't know if it was last week or the week before. And it was tips for growing tomatoes and peppers. And I shared all kinds of information about that. I also, a couple weeks ago, shared about different types of growing lights, because if you're growing indoors, especially peppers, you need grow lights and you need a heat mat. Also important is you need a warm area, as we discussed earlier. So the Trinidad scorpion pepper was once the hottest pepper on the planet. It is no longer. Pepper growers have hybridized several varieties of peppers to make a hotter pepper. Now, this is the hottest pepper that I carry currently. Sean Cummins says, how long do heirloom peppers take to grow? Excellent question. Growing a pepper from seed to harvest can take anywhere from 90 to 130 days. There are reasons for that. Most regular peppers take anywhere from 3 to 14 days to germinate. If it is a hot pepper or a super hot pepper, it can take up to 31 days to germinate. And if your soil is cold or cool, it will take even longer. So if you have warm soil, your germination should be faster. And some of these varieties can take a little longer, like I said. Trinidad scorpion pepper is 90 days from transplant. So if you have a shorter growing season, you want to plant these indoors, let them grow a little bit, and then transplant them out. Joe says I plant them every year but cannot get the peppers to maturity. I'm wondering, Joe, if maybe you live in a shorter climate, a shorter growing season, and for that reason you might want to try planting them inside under lights with a heat mat and then plant them outside. And I know that is more work than just planting seeds outside. I'm all for a low maintenance garden, but sometimes peppers in particular need a little more work for good harvest. Christian says, lucky Lake City peppers can get scorched from sun too. Oh, you're in Central Texas. Okay, so you've got a similar growing season to me. I generally start my pepper seeds 4 weeks before my last frost date. My last frost date here in Texas, in East Texas, is March 12th. So I generally start middle of February. I will feed them a liquid fertilizer. I use Mountain Flower Compost Tea every 2 to 3 weeks, more so if I feel like they need it, and then I transplant out. If you have luscious green growth and no peppers, chances are your soil is high nitrogen and not enough phosphorus and potassium. So I'll talk about soil health later on in another video, but there's definitely a lot of information about that. If you are having pest issues, I have information about that. We use companion planting as our primary first line of defense for pests. If you've got aphids and whitefly or mealybugs, all that other stuff, there's so much information out there that I've shared already to help you out. I didn't get my pepper plants. I have more 6 peppers. It was something I did last year, but it helps the sustainability of the peppers. Maybe that's what made a difference. It's possible. Sometimes when you plant more peppers, peppers can be self-pollinating. All they need is a good blast of wind. So, fun fact, my husband and I had a little challenge a couple of years ago. I want to say it was like 10 years ago. And it was like, who can grow the most peppers? And he grew his indoors in a closed hydro system. And he had this beautiful pepper plant. He grew the most beautiful pepper plant I've ever seen in my life. But he had no peppers because he didn't have a fan on it to help with pollination. And I grew this like Charlie Brown Christmas tree pepper plant outside, but at least I was able to harvest some of the peppers. because it was outside and it had pollinators and it had wind to help pollinate it. So if you are growing indoors, like long term, then you definitely want to add a fan or something to give it some help with pollination. So just a couple of tips for you. All right, the next on my list is yellow cherry hot pepper. Fantastic habanero variety. Has a fruity flavor, a fiery heat, but it's cherry in size. And the Scoville heat units for this is 100,000 to 350,000. Very similar to a Scotch bonnet. It's a habanero variety, so you definitely want to give it space, let it grow, and use it for some hot pepper sauce. Amazing sauce. The next one up is a Teppan pepper. This one grows amazing in Texas. I mean, any kind of hot weather area, whether it's Texas or California or like the super hot part of California, Florida, for those of you that are looking for something that will grow in your area, the Teppan pepper is beautiful. These are super small, round, shiny peppers, packs a lot of heat. The plants grow about 35 inches tall, green stems, and white flowers. And the Scoville heat units for this is 50,000 to 100,000. So as I go through this, you're gonna hear me talk about the Scoville. That's why I talked about in the beginning what the Scoville was about. The Teppan pepper is TEPIN. So if you look in the description section of this video, you'll find a link to all of our pepper seeds at Mary's Heirloom Seeds. So you can scroll down. It's mostly alphabetical. The Teppan pepper, TEPIN, is a really good one. Now, next on my list is the Peter pepper. This one is super fun for my customers. They love it because of its odd phallic shape. The chili pepper is a little on the spicy side, but not super hot. No, Christian, it's not a C, it's a T as in Tom. T as in Tom, EPIN. So the Peter pepper is Scoville units of 10,000 to 23,000. It looks super fun if you want to pickle it in a jar, and you've got a jar of pickled Peter peppers. I've got friends that buy this from me every year because they just love it. So the Peter pepper is a super fun one. It's spicy, but it's not super spicy. So it's something that you might want to try if you like growing a weird and fun garden. Some of my customers just like weird. So the chocolate baby bell pepper is one that I mentioned earlier. Inga says, I'm starting hot peppers next week, 7A, then mid-March sweet peppers. Perfect. Hot peppers grow first and then sweet peppers because it generally takes a little longer for them to germinate. The chocolate baby bell pepper does not taste like chocolate. It has the color of chocolate, but it doesn't taste like chocolate. They are bite-sized, delicious, easy to grow. Inga says, Peter peppers are spicy in multiple ways. LO, pickling is fun. Definitely. I did pickled peppers last year, and it was definitely fun. This grows approximately 24 inches tall and 12 inches wide. So the chocolate baby bell pepper is excellent for a container garden. Same with the Peter peppers. They have a more compact plant. They are fantastic if you're growing in containers. So I definitely recommend that if that's what you want. Now the next on my list is called Chili de Arbol. Now I may be completely butchering the pronunciation of it, but it means tree chili in Spanish. So I've had customers say, hey, I'm looking for the tree chili, and they don't know that this is in the description of that, because if you're looking it up, you're like, I'm looking for a tree chili. Chili de Arbol is also called tree chili. Say that 10 times super fast. Jennifer B says, you're very close. I don't live in Southern California anymore. I was just visiting for a couple of days, handling a couple things for my dad. But I did grow up in Southern California. And I lived in South Florida, and now I live in East Texas. That was another thing that I had mentioned to this gentleman that had called me asking me why he should be looking at my seeds. And I said, well, I have experience growing all over the place. So why not? Like, if you have questions, whether your friends are in uh, Washington, California, New York, Nebraska, Alaska, I can probably help you. Let's see. J.G. Lake City says dried that pepper is very good for chili. Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. The chili herbal has a slightly smoky flavor. It's a little different than most peppers. It produces a bush pepper. The actual peppers can go from 3 to 4 inches long, which is a good, decent size for a chili pepper. It's really, really good dried, like you mentioned. It's very good dried. It produces a more distinct flavor when it's dried. So that's probably why people are really looking forward to this one. And the heat level on this one is not super hot. It's anywhere from 15 to 30,000 Scoville heat units. For those of you just joining me, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Now, I go live on Facebook every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Central Time. And now my regular live chat is Thursdays on YouTube at 5 p.m. Central Time. So if you haven't already joined me on Facebook, definitely check it out. I do giveaways there as well. Arlene says, I love pepper jelly. I usually use jalapeno peppers. That is the normal pepper for jalapeno jelly or for pepper jelly. So what other peppers besides jalapeno would be a little spicier? That is a great question. Now, the chili de arbol would be a good one. Usually, generally, jalapeno is between 5,000 and 8,000 Scoville units. Now, the chili de arbol that I just mentioned to you is 15 to 30,000 Scoville heat units. So that would be just a little bit spicier than your jalapeno. Inga says, is this the kind of chili pepper to use when you're making chili? No. There is a specific variety of chili that you use for chili powder, for chili pepper. I will get that specific information for you, but it's actually not as spicy. The chili de arbol is spicier than what you would usually use. And I want to say, I don't think it's a paprika. I was actually, it's funny you asked me that. I was actually looking up what is the chili powder that they use for chili powder. And it's not a spicy pepper, it's a flavorful pepper. And I want to say it's similar to a paprika that they use for chili powder for pepper, or for chili. And then you use the cumin and all that other stuff to give it the extra flavor. Now, the Bulgarian carrot pepper, I posted this one recently on my Facebook page. It is beautiful. The Bulgarian carrot pepper grows, the plant itself is only about 18 inches tall, and the peppers are about 3.5 inches long. Patriots Rabbitry says, I've made habanero pepper jelly. Yum! Habanero pepper is usually about 100 to 350 Scoville units. Sorry. I'm watching Pepper Kitty just almost bust his behind trying to get into this teeniest little square, and he fell over. Sorry. Totally distracted. I need a shirt that says totally distracted by cats, because I have one that says absolutely distracted by plants, so whatever. 2 to 5 times hotter, Christian says. I go to the bell person. Someone told me that there's no difference of flavor in the red or orange. Is that true? Oh, that's not true. The green is boring. The red and the yellow are sweeter. So if you, okay, so here's the thing about that. Store-bought produce oftentimes tastes disappointing compared to homegrown. So if you grow your own yellow bell peppers and you grow your own green and red, the flavor is so much different than store-bought. The stuff that I've bought store-bought is just bland. It is boring. It's been picked early so that it can be shipped 100 to 1,500 miles to your door or to your grocer's door. So I will say this right now. Yes, hands down, homegrown, there is a distinct flavor. Green tastes more mild. Red and yellow taste more sweet. Yeah, that's true. It maybe it's a little grassy to you, absolutely. And then the yellow and red are sweeter. So yes, there is a distinct flavor to it, but maybe not in store bought because I don't mean to sound silly, but I haven't bought store bought bell peppers in a long time because they just are disappointing. I don't like wasting my money if I don't have to. So I'd rather grow it myself and eat it in season and have that flavor. Very true. I just ate some broccoli from my garden, literally melted in my mouth. Again, flavor. There's so much more flavor in homegrown. And so just a jalapeno, for example, you can buy jalapenos in the grocery store, but you can also grow them in your own garden, and the flavor is outstanding compared to what you would get in the grocery store. All right, so next on my list is a bird's eye chili pepper. They are very popular in Asian, African, and Spanish cooking. The bird's eye chili pepper has so many different names. We talked about this recently, and I talked about this with my friend Inga. She was asking specifically about holy basil. And there are multiple varieties of holy basil. Each one is very distinct. And then some of them have different names. So it's really hard to keep track of all the names of everything. So the bird's eye chili pepper, they are green when they are immature, and they become red when they're fully mature, but both colors are edible. So you can eat it when it's green, you can eat it when it's red, but either way, it is a nice spicy pepper, and this is 50,000 to 100,000 Scoville units. So again, the jalapeno is about 8,000. So if that's your max, you want to stick to the Ancho Poblano, the Anaheim, and the more sweet peppers or the bell peppers, because those are going to be probably more along the lines of what you're used to or what you're comfortable with eating. The Tabasco pepper is my favorite. Well, I take that back. Last year I grew the Fatali pepper, a lot of Fatali peppers, and I really like those too. But Tabasco pepper is a really good one. I love making Tabasco sauce. It's literally the famous heirloom pepper for making Tabasco sauce. It was introduced into Louisiana in 1848 and became the main ingredient for Tabasco pepper sauce. The actual plant can grow 4 feet tall. Mine this year grew 3.5 feet tall, which is pretty fantastic. So they are beautiful plants. They will grow a massive amount of Tabasco peppers. You just have to harvest on a regular basis, like keep harvesting as you go. Inga says these look like they would be great for pickling because they are small. The Tabasco peppers and the bird's eye, absolutely. So I love, David says, yes, homemade Tabasco sauce. This is good stuff. I like hot stuff. So we talked about this with, again, my friend who works with me. She was telling me that her son wants to grow more peppers for hot sauce. And so I gave her a list of things that would be, a list of varieties that would be really good for her son that might want to get more interested and excited about growing food, but also preparing that food. And from what I understand, this kid loves to make gourmet meals. So it would be perfect to add homemade peppers to his list of ingredients. Hang on. 2 more varieties to share with you. Next one up is lemon pepper. This one's also called ají limón. It is a Peruvian pepper. It is a seasoning pepper. They call it a seasoning pepper. It's a flavorful pepper. It's sometimes dark with a little bit of a purple blush to it. The flavor is very clean. It's citrusy. It's hot. They grow 2 feet tall, and the shape of them is conical. It's from 2 to 3 inches long. So it's basically a long yellow jalapeno that packs a much bigger bite than a regular jalapeno. The ají limón, also called lemon drop pepper, is a very difficult pepper to find. It is not a super popular pepper. Maybe it's because it's from Peru. I'm not 100% sure. It's very popular in Brazilian cooking. but it's not one that you'll find on the stores literally ever, at least not here in East Texas. I highly recommend the lemon drop pepper. I have it listed as lemon drop instead of ají limón because not everybody knows it as that. Maybe I should list it as that as well. And then last but certainly not least is the cayenne pepper. Now, cayenne pepper is cayenne pepper. There are variations of it. We carry a purple cayenne pepper as well, but the standard is the same. The red cayenne pepper is medicinal, it is delicious, it is spicy, it is very easy to grow. It starts off green and matures to red. It is one of the oldest known peppers. It predates, it's a pre-Columbian in origin. That means it is hundreds of years old, if not thousands of years old. So it is a very, very old pepper. Obviously, it's not from the US. It originates in South America. Let's see, does the purple one change color when you cook it? No, it doesn't. It just stays purple. The cayenne pepper is named after the Cayenne River, which is it was first offered for seed trade in 1883. Now, that doesn't mean that that was when it was found out. It was already grown all over the place. It was just that in 1883, a commercial seed seller decided to start selling it. They usually grow about 6 inches long. The plant itself can be somewhat compact, and it's spicy. The Scoville heat units is anywhere from 30,000 to 50,000. I make a cayenne tincture that is so easy to make. It's literally cayenne pepper powder and vodka, and you sit it in the counter and you let it sit. That's how you make the most basic of tinctures. And we let it sit for about 3 weeks before you can start using it. And then actually the one that I have in the kitchen counter is about 2 years old, and we still just use it as we go. You can use it to flavor things, but we use it also to help with respiratory issues. If you've got breathing issues, if you've got want an extra boost of vitamin A and vitamin C, that's a great way of using it. So I love using cayenne. You can dry it super easily, whether it's just literally sit the pepper on the kitchen counter, let it dry. You can put it in your dehydrator, super easy to use. Or like I said, you can make a tincture out of it, super easy as well. So that is it for me, for my pepper talk tonight. I have discussed so many different varieties of heirloom peppers today. We talked about sweet and spicy peppers. In the description section of this video, you'll find a link to all of the heirloom pepper seeds available at Mary's Heirloom Seeds. The discount code 2025 is still available. You use that at checkout to save 5% on your entire order through the entire year of 2025. My email, if you have questions, if you're watching this video and it's not live, you can always send an email to mary@marysheirloomseeds.com and I will answer. Check out my website. Check out my YouTube channel. And if you haven't already, hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. All right, everybody, I am going to sign off. It is Thursday and I am done for the day. I will be teaching a workshop at the Gregg County Master Gardeners this Saturday. And then a week and a half later, I'll be at the Kaufman County Master Gardeners, and I'll be teaching them about seed starting as well. So I will have so many more videos for you. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you join me if you're local. Anyway, I'm Mary from Mary's Heirloom Seeds, signing off, and happy planting.